Hey, what's up? I'm gonna talk about this whole drama with Lyles, um, Noah Lyles talking about the criticism on the NBA. Um, Pretty much what other people have also said, arguing, being upset, mainly NBA players, NBA analysts. Stephen A. had talked about this and pretty much was like, yeah, I mean, I get it, but it was ignorant because of et cetera, et cetera. And I'm going to get into that. Um, so, yeah, Noah Lyles, if you didn't know, track and field superstar, just won 3 gold medals at the World Championships. Um, Won 100-meter and 200-meter dash. Um, was awesome. He's representing the U.S. greatly, and after that, he basically went into this tirade of, "Oh, don't get me wrong, love the U.S. at times, but it ain't the world." I mean, talking about the NBA, that it's at NBA, they say they're world champions, and I mean, personally, for me, I've always wondered this. It's the same thing with baseball, World Series. Um, but it's been that just shows how America is thinking that they're the best in the world, and I don't blame. I mean, if I'm in any country, I would think that I'm the best in the world. I mean, anybody in any country, it's representing your country. Um, so yeah, I mean, this thing's been crazy. We have comments from NBA players. Kevin Durant said somebody help this brother. PJ Tucker talked about I can't make this so and so up. Can't make this up. Uh, Rivers saying I don't know what's more cringe. Denver Nuggets. Gordon, they just won championship. Said whatever. I'm smoking bloody in the 200-meter. I as a champion of the NBA, could have said anything but that. Even though people are saying that of Lyles being ignorant, that if there could have been something more ignorant, it was that. I mean, this guy just is number one in the 200-meter. Aaron Gordon, I am sorry, you're nowhere near what this guy's running for a 200-meter. I mean, maybe you could put an argument for you'd be close for 100 meters, even then you wouldn't win. But I mean, to say that, that's just so dumb, dude. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I mean, it's funny that this is going on. I think the NBA a long has come a long way from where they were as far as for international sport wise. They got players from Greece, from just every. They have 40. Stephen A. had mentioned this. There's 40 different countries where players are in the NBA. That says a lot, and that's a lot more than before. And in recent years, that's gone up a lot, and especially with stars. I would put on for last year. The argument was definitely that Nikola Jokic was the top dog as far as for the NBA, and he did do a lot of the work. Um, but it's also a team sport. But definitely, he did a lot of the work getting them that championship win. And I think there's no problem stating that. But what Lyles is saying is that track and field is really more worldwide, and there is no doubt. I don't know what kind of argument you can make. Really, Stephen A. was trying to make an argument at that was the best argument that you can make, but even then that comes up way short. If you're looking at the history of track and field, it started in Greece in 776 BC. That's a while ago. And if you look at track and field, how many countries are even in it? Let me see. Countries compete. $195. I'm not too sure if I'm not great with math, but I think 195 is a lot more than 40. It's not like 40 is not even like, this is over 3 times the amount, 4 times the amount actually, maybe even 5 times. I don't know. It's a way more because there's more countries. There's more countries being represented in track and field. It's one if not the first sporting event that existed. So there is no way you can argue and say, oh, track and field's not as worldwide as the NBA. I would even throw in that it's the same thing with Major League Baseball. They call it the World Series. And they're not getting as many countries as track and field. Track and field is the top when it comes from worldwide, historical aspect, where it started. It was not started in the U.S. It's been going on for years and years and years and years. It's the argument. There's no argument really on that in that sense. I stand by what Lyles said. I think the way he said it was very cocky. But I'll be honest, 100%. I thought that same thing. Why is the NBA considered worldwide, a world champion? Or same with even Major League Baseball, world champion. Or World Series and World Series champion. It doesn't make as much sense. I still like the history and all of that. I think both of those sports are doing well as far as for international wise. But yeah, getting into the whole international aspect, Stephen A. Smith said that he would argue that there was more internationality in NBA than track and field. That is just wrong. Absolutely wrong. I just don't get why some people, they say the first thing that's on their mind. It really doesn't make any sense. I know the media loves that kind of stuff. It adds the drama and this and that. What kind of arguments are these? Like, and even when he was saying that at the very beginning of the segment, he said that he's totally right. The only thing I have a problem with is somewhat is his ignorance. So he's already like on the first thing saying he's doing well and it's not, but it's like contradicting in the first statement. I think what most people are upset about as far as NBA is that it was disrespectful, and I think it totally was. I don't think it's anything that really needs to be said. Now, if an NBA player or something like that, maybe that will change things. That an NBA player was arguing that they were more world championish, or Major League Baseball player saying more world championish. But I mean, I it's one of the things like for me I thought about, but I wouldn't have said it. I would just flat out say that track and field is the most international sport around, and it's the highest point of prestige as far as for your country. I would have said it much differently than how it was phrased, but I also understand that there's people that are just upset that are taking this out of context, and they're just upset. They're saying the first thing that they think, and they're not really thinking about what they're actually saying. Really, what are they actually saying? So I mean, there are so many arguments, but I mean, to be honest, these are all different sports. Some of these sports are older than others. Like it the NBA is getting to be more of an international sport each year, and it's going to continue, and it's growing rapidly. Basketball is played in more countries than we've seen previously, and it's going to continue. And the competition is getting better. We're going to see more international players joining the NBA league and competing for a championship. But I don't think that it's warrants more than track and field. We're going to like the World Championships, the Olympics, all of that. It just it doesn't compete. There's nothing you can like there nothing logical you can say makes any ounce of sense to make it sound like your sport is more international, competitive, blah blah blah. It you can't. It just makes you sound really stupid because there's just so many countries competing. Look at all the facts. You do all the math. Track and field's just been around for so long. Do I think the NBA can get to the point where it is international and it has all these players from all these different countries? I think so. I think it can. For a long time, as far as for players for international, it wasn't even a thing. NBA was mainly just strictly American basketball players. It's now expanded. The times have changed, and it's been for the better, I believe. It's grown the sport. It's grown the viewership, the audience, the fans have loved it, and I do too. I think it's great, and it's going to build on that. But I mean, don't say it now. I would say it later when there is more of an argument. But still, I think this whole thing's pretty funny. I think it doesn't really mean anything really to me. I think this is just, I mean, it is what it is. Like, there's not really much else to say. I'm just going based off the facts, and that's the facts. So, can't argue with the facts, no matter how much you want to put your own emphasis on your emotions. The facts are the facts. It's like when you would say like, oh, I think that this player is better than that player because, you know, he even though the other guy scores more points every game, he does well for his team. He's a team player. And it was looking at like MVP and whatnot. That's not exactly, it's not cookie cutter like that. But when you look at like all-time greats. Who has the most points? You don't really argue on that. It's the facts. The facts are, oh, this guy scored this many points. That guy scored that many points. That guy scored that many. He's the all-time scoring. So I mean, it is what it is. Um, I don't have anything else to say. I just think it's pretty funny. Anyways, have a great day. And yeah, I mean, I once again don't think NBA. I don't think there's anything wrong with any of these sports. I think they're all great. They're all entertaining. I'm a fan of all these sports. I think it's wonderful, and I like where things are heading. Just don't make the silly comments. And I would love to see a 200-meter race between Gordon and Lyles. That would be funny. Anyways, have a great day. Bye.